let's lock in on this edit finally. Alrighty. That's all studio stuff. Dun, 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 dun. Studio. There's definitely some shots that we could use here of him working on Lost, because I think there was some Trump parts. But I think Lost is mostly here. Yeah, this was like the main stuff that I really liked, I think. Make sure this is Lost. Oh, not that one clearly. Why the fuck do I have JPEGs? Yo, we got someone in the chat. If you're stopping in, make sure to say hi. Working on the Lost music video for John Tyler. And this is my first time opening up the project file. So hopefully, I'm able to, get something by the end of the stream. I'm not gonna go for too long just because I gotta shoot tomorrow and I've been working all day today, so I'm kind of tired at this point. I almost canceled, but I'm gonna do it, swear to God. Where do I want to start? Fuck it. Let's go here.
Okay.
You see?
No.
I want to say... Yeah, it's Butterfly. Alright, let's see if my job's gonna be easy. Will the footage sync? Please, 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 please. No! Of course it doesn't. Let's try it again. That's not the file I fucking clicked. Let's try it again. Hi. How are the JPEGs back? If I could remove those. Maybe we did all butterfly. I swear we did Lost, like, at least once.
Okay, you're good now. Turn away from camera. Alright, one more. That was
Alt F4 pulls up my timeline, huh? Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I don't know why I read that like you weren't fucking with me. As if I don't know what fucking Alt F4 is. Issue is, with this footage at least, is this is not the song that I'm working on. And I'm trying to remember the events of that day, because I swear to God I shot at least one shot for this video. I'm just trying to find it. But I shot this all in... yeah, November 25th last year. So it's kind of lost in my memories. That is all that. I'm definitely using this shot, at least that one. But the thing with butterfly is like, and it's supposed to be like acid trippy, so like a lot of this is gonna have be a little. Oh shit! What's up, bro? Your YouTube name is not giving that at all. That's funny. Where is Studio 9988? I really thought you were bot at first. Damn, I kind of want to I just want to start color grading, but this is not the right project. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be all. So maybe we didn't shoot anything there. I know that's just practice. This is rage. This is.
Get out, get out, get out, get out, get out my way, get out my face.
This is rage, which is in blue here, but the whole song I feel like it's gonna be like the red. Although we didn't really, none of these shots, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think any of them are useful. I just don't know if it's gonna make the cut. Well, damn, it kind of looks like I didn't shoot a scene for Lost in, unless I'm just like, I'm not finding it.
Huh?
Yep. That shit's looking. That's gonna look clean. Hello. Hey, what's up, Amy? Everyone's YouTube names are so different. I feel like with Twitch, everyone made like a username. But on YouTube, it's just kind of like the random email address that your mom put together for you. Yeah, I'm just looking at the I have them all stored on drives. And they're sorted by day right now, not project, because there's so much overlap on what's being used for what. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just like looking at this stuff for the first time, which is probably boring as hell for you guys to watch. So I don't think I shot anything in Mexico, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and eject this one. And I'm gonna go ahead and just get rid of these project files for now. And let's just take a look at what's in the new stuff. I know we got some shots in Peru. Bum, bum. It's just stupid because I just copied the. Should be around here. Yep. Catalyst Browse is slow as hell. I feel like organizing in DaVinci's better. I feel like Catalyst Browse is like I have it. It's just fucking dumb slow. I feel like DaVinci's kind of been better for me. Alright. Yeah, I figured as much.
3 miles. 500 meters. Turn right.
I can't see your lips at all. Well, I can see an outline, but that's it. Lips at all. Well, I can see an outline, but that's it. That's it.
Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me, been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters, cause trauma brings the melodies, lost.
Still a little.
Enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
Let's try this. If I bring in a shorter segment with less wind, it'll sync up. No, still not gonna fucking do it. Strange.
This is the last performance, so give it all you got.
Oh, let's try.
looks even better on camera. Better on camera.
Let's do it like that.
It could be a bad. Lost in the trauma. Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram, so lost for.
Cool, that looks good to me. Dun, dun, dun.
Lost in the trauma. In the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram, so lost for words I need a telegram, lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
Okay, dun, dun, dun. And this one I want to say was just a B-roll track.
Alright. And like at a 3.
I think that was pre-roll. We got
Scene. Give me a 360 like you're lost.
Sun is up significantly. Damn, it's crazy how fast the sun went down here. That would be kind of funny. I mean, I kind of have to do that with Angie's part because I told John, I was like, I kind of want to track her down to get some shots of her because like her voice is so prominent in the song. But he said good luck, so I'm assuming that's going to be hard to manage. I think she's getting married this year, so that's probably why. So I'm kind of planning to do the whole video without having Ange, and if I'm able to get Ange, then awesome. But I'm not thinking that's going to happen. All right, and I got these shots in, and I'm going to do what we all came here for. We want to color grade this. We want to put some color on it, man. Turn off the green for now. Let's probably stick with that one for now. Cool. Turn that off so we can get our scopes in. And speed it up nicely. Come back and do that, and then I definitely am gonna need to pull this down. Feel pretty happy there. I feel like that's about how it felt day of too. Keep it safe for now, and I think generally I'm just gonna want to see a little bit more of John's face. So I'm gonna punch the gamma up a little bit, and we'll adjust the rest from there. Cool. Let's do some white balance. Not gonna do anything crazy. I kind of want to keep some of the blue, but I'll probably pull that out another way, because it's just a super warm shot, and I'm just gonna amplify that. And as much as I love to pull green, I think this is the occasion where I push magenta for once in my life. And fuck it, I'm gonna do my own curve on this one. Dun dun. Yeah, this is shot. This is shot in Peru at the dunes. This is the spot I was talking about for sure. This is definitely it. I mean, yeah, you can. Let me drag this over so you have the option to be able to see the other shot too. It's about as good as I described. Let's just see how Da Vinci's contrast looks. I know I'm gonna need some punch. We're just gonna go straight for a 1.2 and adjust to Da Vinci White Gamma is 355, and I'm going to turn the details up just a little bit. It's funny, I'm texting John right now. I don't think he's in my stream though. I think he's in Brazil, so yeah, it's Carnival. I don't expect to hear from him. If he drops in, that'd be funny. Because he wouldn't be able to hear anything that's going on, I guarantee it. I don't initially hate that look, so I'm just gonna leave it, keep it simple. And I kind of like the way that it's clipping. It feels relatively natural. And I feel okay. There's one thing I usually add. I don't feel like it's necessary in this case. I like to do a loom versus sat curve where I come somewhere around this like 25% mark. And I like to try and desaturate some of the shadows so that black feels black. It can help. It's nice on like an A7S3 or something like that, where like I don't have optical low pass filter, so I can get, or sorry, infrared filter. I don't have an infrared filter on my camera, so sometimes my shadows can get very fucked up. I mean, not very, like, I'm probably the only person who noticed. Brandon, you're probably the other person who would notice that I know, but it just kind of gets rid of that, or at least turns any effect that might have down. And in this case, I think I'm actually going to turn up the saturation. I want that glow to feel like kind of crazy, and I'm going to try and make that consistent to the whole image. I feel like kind of like a natural adjustment. Something smooth-ish like that. I think that's cool. Yeah. Let's see how that looks. Yeah. See how, let me go ahead and turn off the gallery so we can make this bigger. Except I'm fairly certain my OBS screen is covering that, so let's go ahead and adjust that. Let me put myself here? Here? Yeah, I'm gonna go there. I need to figure out key strokes with making all of that work better. No, not you. You. Okay. I feel like that. But you can see how, like, it just makes the blacks just feel just like that ever a little bit more real, which I have kind of found can help when we're starting to throw some of these, like, filmiclets on. It still comes through even through the film convert. Like, yeah, the environment is like red and he feels red, but there's no contrast. Whereas like with it on, we have like a little bit of like the colors on and off, you know. That makes at all sense. And I think the only other thing that I would maybe add in this scenario is let's take a look at some fake halation. I don't know, it might be a level to this in which I like. The isolated regions, I think this makes just a little bit more sense for my threshold. That looks cool to me. I might turn the gamma down just a little bit so I can have better control of that. Just like a little bit over. Let me experiment with some spread difference here. Yeah, I think 3.3 was fine. I don't feel any reason to adjust. And those are global adjustments. I'll leave those edits for. Film convert. I've not paid for Halation here, but I probably won't because I have it here. And let's, I guess, just take a look at some different film grains we can go with. Vision 3 is definitely my favorite. That is Eterna right there. That was the one I filmed with, I think. And it kind of has more of that like yellow look. Probably not, probably not. That's not terrible, but more greeny than I want. Black and white is definitely not the move for this. No. I can't fuck with that. And then there's the classic portrait. We could go with that too. I try to avoid just using Portra because it feels like cheating, you know. Portra's fucking great, but yeah, I think I'm going with that. And then I think the other thing that I would maybe want to try is maybe I can get some more blue out of this sky. I think there's like 2 ways I could go about this. I'm going to try the easy way. And I'm just going to try turning the blues up and see what happens. That's going to be the most basic, stupid way of doing this. But the only thing with that is, yeah, these appear blue in comparison to everything else, but it's so warm in this area that it just, we just know that that's blue, but it's not actually a blue color. It just looks blue in contrast to the orange. But it's not blue, clearly, because if you can see where the marker is, it's going right in that orange. There's no information that's not orange in this scene. So I just don't know if I'm going to get that contrast, especially not this method. The other method I could try is we go to Windows. I could draw like this rough mask, give or take, and like try and treat this as like a separate entity. We can soften it out. Pretty significantly. Let's see what we're working with. I don't want to, you know, get too close to John's face. But then I'd also have to, like, you know, redo this for every shot that I apply this to, and that's why I didn't really want to have to go this route. But if it is the way, then it is the way. That looks close enough for me. And let's go and maybe we can try the white balance. That definitely pulls more blue. I still don't know if it's really blue. No, it's definitely blue, or leaning blue. But we did also shift it a lot. So let's turn R off. I don't actually like it. I kind of prefer it without it. It makes for a very confusing image where I'm like, wait, sunset, but blue. It just doesn't have the same strong effect. I don't know, actually playing it. I mean, obviously I need to track it, but that's not that hard. What the fuck is going on? Mickey, can you unfreeze yourself? There we go. I'm just gonna leave it off for now. It's there. Let's take all those things. Let's put it over here, and we'll reset that grade for. We'll reset that.
religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
That shit is crazy. I'm gonna have such a strong tendency to lean on these videos too hard.
Give me a 360 like you're lost.
Did these beginning earlier? Hi, Soup. Hi. Come on. Come on. Don't pause my video on me. Oh,
In 200 meters, in a quarter of a mile, in 400 meters, in 0.3 miles, in 500 meters, turn right.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? Feeling disturbed. I am.
In 0.3 miles, in 500 meters, turn right.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? Feeling disturbed. I am.
whoa. Come back. Please work. Damn, why is this wind's fucking killing me, man? It's fucking killing me.
In 200 meters, in a quarter of a mile, in 0.3 miles, in 500 meters.
I can't wait till the syncing features get better. Although I do intend on just getting time code for these kind of things too.
For words, how can I face my problems and live my life? Feeling disturbed. I am.
Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
Kind of just like look around at the different scenes, like.
A girl's crib.
Feeling hurt. How can I face my
Hola, I can
problem?
lost cause of Uncle Sam.
How can I face my problems and live my life? Feeling disturbed. I am lost.
Give me a 360 like you're lost.
I made 100K.
Feeling disturbed.
B1 shots. B1 shots. That's content.
Sí, lo que pasa es que en la autopista, o sea,
Lost in the when there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
I'm lost for where
Sober, lost in the
You in here right now? You just texted me, so I'm assuming. You ready? You ready to see this shit? All right. Let's go back. You ready? You ready? Look at this shit, man.
I'm lost and live my life. Feeling disturbed. I am lost.
I made 100K, but then I went broke. Borderline homeless, this ain't no joke. Sleeping in my girl's crib with no hope. Then I lost God, then I found dope. Love groove is over, I'm never sober. Lost in the wilderness, lost high roller. I can buy happy when my girl pays over. I can buy happy.
how you knew how to dance right there is beyond me. That's just God, man. I'll concede God exists for that. Yeah, no, these are pretty fucking top tier crazy shit. I don't know if you could hear me or not, because I know you're in Carnival right now, but these shots go crazy.
Lost in the trauma.
Let me get these synced up, and then we'll look at the color grades on those too. That's a little off actually, but
Lost without Nirvana.
oh, perfect. Perfectly synced. Perfectly synced.
Lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for. Masters, cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
I'm lost.
Let's do some more catalogue grades. I'd like to put some colours on these shots. I wonder if the colour grade will work here. That was not what I meant to do. Oh shit, this goes crazy.
No, we probably can leave it, as it doesn't look clipped. But we do need. Let's go bring down the highlights a bit. Yeah, that looks about alright for me. There still looks pretty dialed in. Bonk. 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 Yeah, we're gonna make some adjustments here. This looks a bit fucking bright today. Bit fucking bright. Let's try and take the colour tint off it. We can redo that actually. Bring it back just a touch. And this one, we are definitely gonna try and isolate the blues for sure. We can definitely bring this down. And I think truly what it needs is to really fucking darken up those shadows. There we go. This looks within a respectable amount of what sunset might look like. Oh, that's why, because it's off. It's pretty not saturated. Alright, let's just clean it up a little bit. Really blur that radius, denoise it significantly. What changes did we make? Oh, right, we did the ridiculous shift. Let's just do something a little bit more subtle. And let's just blur it just a bit more. Okay, that gives us a little bit more. And I think we should be able to apply that here. Which is pretty happy with that. And the only thing I haven't done for any of these actually is, let's just really get those. Let's punch this vibrance. Ooh, what the fuck? Who said that was what I wanted to do? Oh, I must have copied the wrong one. I feel like it almost doesn't do anything. It definitely has a greater effect in these shots, which I'm not opposed to. Here, the effect felt more benign. The cool thing is we already have with like my favorite shots, we already have full coverage across the entire video. Not, you know, a lot, but we only picked out the fun shots so far. I haven't used any B-roll clips at all. Like that one.
Around in circles, like, and then like stop, be like,
cause trauma brings the melody.
Surely this one will sync too. Yes. I actually love to know.
Lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a. Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion.
Cool. That's all rage stuff. I'm excited to work on that one too. Yeah, Lost is definitely done. I think I could do a shot in Brazil with some of these, but you know what? I don't think it's necessary. I really don't. Cool. Okay, those are all the A tracks at least. I foresee that one being the closest to this one. Smell right? I do think maybe we gotta punch just a little bit more.
No hope, then I lost God. Lost in trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost.
Welcome in, guys. Well, I think I have finished putting together all of the performance clips that I have for this video. I need to double check. Let's actually double check. I don't think there's any in Colombia that I did for this video. I'll have to double check that, but I think I'm gonna currently try and operate without these because there's kind of like the shots that are selected have like a connected feeling. I mean, they're all in Peru, so that might be why, but it's that one.
Telegram lost cause of Uncle Sam. Damn.
We got that one.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and
We got this one.
Cause trauma brings the melodies. Lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam. Damn.
That shot's insane.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life feeling disturbed?
Insane. Love that shot.
I am lost, lost, lost.
I made 100K, but then I went broke. Borderline homeless, this ain't no joke. Sleeping in my girl's crib with no hope. Then I lost God, then I found dope. Love groove is over, I'm never sober. Lost
These shots are giving me so much dopamine.
religion.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems?
Alright. Now another boring part. So now I need to go through all these shots and just cut away the moments that are poop. And what will reveal itself in the meantime is kind of where each one of the clips sit, and then I can carve in and out. And then I usually try to have like a performance clip all the way through, and then I'll go in and I'll try and add spots for the B-rolls and maybe get rid of some of my least favorite performances and like, but yeah. So at this point, we're just making ourselves, you know, starting to get to know our footage a little bit more here. You know, we gotta marinate with it. You know, we gotta. I don't know what the fuck I'm
Lost
going
in
with
the
there.
trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion.
Oh, wait, and this shot definitely extends out.
Face my problems and live my life feeling disturbed. I am lost, lost, lost. I am
So it's probably the first moment he becomes.
lost, lost, lost.
Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam. Damn.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life feeling disturbed? I am lost, lost, lost.
I made 100K, but then I went broke. Borderline homeless, this ain't no joke. Sleeping in my girl's crib with no hope. then I lost God, then I found dope. Love groove is over, I'm never sober. Lost in the wilderness, lost high roller. I can buy happy when my girl pays over. I can buy happiness, the drugs take over.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? I'm feeling distant. I am lost, lost,
Alright, I think
for words. How can
This lost high roller.
how can I
I'm gonna say that this clip probably should end before this point, give or take. Which means probably all of the associating scenes will probably cut off here too.
How can I face my problems and live my life? Feeling disturbed. I am lost. Life. Problems and live my life. Live my life. Feeling disturbed. I am lost, lost, lost.
Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? Feeling disturbed. I am lost, lost, lost.
I made 100K, but then I went broke. Borderline homeless, this ain't no joke. Sleeping in my girl's crib with no hope. Then I lost God, then I found dope. Love groove is over, I'm never sober. Lost in the wilderness, lost high roller. I can buy happy when my girl pays over. I can buy happiness, the drugs take over.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? I'm feeling distant. I am lost, lost, feeling disturbed. I am lost, lost, lost.
Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
I'm lost for words. How can I
100K, but then I went broke. Borderline homeless, this ain't no joke. Sleeping in my girl's crib with no hope. Then I lost God, then I found dope. Love groove is over, I'm never sober. Lost in the wilderness, lost high roller. I can buy happy when my girl pays over. I can buy happiness, the drugs take over.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? I'm feeling disturbed. I am lost, lost, how can I face my
I'm gonna cut it there, but I am gonna use that stairway shot. If you saw that, that's not getting cut, don't worry.
problem and live my life. Live my life. And live my life. Feeling disturbed. I am lost, lost, lost.
Lost in the trauma, lost without my enemies, lost without knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost cause of uncle.
Problem lost.
Now wait, broke, borderline homeless. In the wilderness, lost high roller. I can buy happy when my girl pays over. I can buy happiness, the drugs take over.
I'm lost for words.
Buy happy when my girl pays over. I can buy happiness, the drugs take over.
I'm lost. Feeling disturbed. I am lost, lost, lost.
Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally. Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
I'm lost for words. Lost for words. How can
Now wait, broke, happy when my girl.
words?
I can buy happiness, the drugs take over.
I'm lost for. I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? I'm feeling disturbed. I am lost.
in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by sleeping in my girl's crib. Happy when my girl pays over. I can buy happiness, the drugs take over.
I'm lost.
Happy when my girl pays over. I can buy happiness, the drugs take over. Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion. Lost in the trauma, lost without. Lost in the trauma, lost in the trauma, lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana. Lost by religion, lost without dollars.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? Feel my problems and live my life.
Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me, been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram, so lost for words I need a telegram, lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn. On Instagram, so lost for words I need a telegram, lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn. Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problem? Feeling disturbed. I am not.
is, bro.
100 meters in a quarter of a mile and 400 meters in 0.3 miles.
I'm lost for words. How can how can face my
Cause of
Keep going.
Uncle Sam down.
Now keep going. Now keep going.
I need a telegram, lost cause of Uncle Sam down.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? Feeling disturbed. I am lost, lost, lost.
Lost in the trauma, lost without my enemies, lost without the Uncle Sam down.
Feeling disturbed.
With no hope, high roller. I can
I'm lost for words.
haze over. I can buy happiness, the drugs take over.
Feeling disturbed. I'm lost for
Lost cause of Uncle Sam.
face my problems and live my life. Feeling my problems and live my life. I'm lost. I'm lost for words. Can I
Happy mama.
make this? I'm lost for words. How can lost?
I can buy happy mama.
We have now identified like our areas where we need B-roll and stuff. We kind of have some scenes. So now what I want to do, key is
I'm lost for words. How can I face my loss?
Lost in the trauma. Gram lost cause of Uncle Sam. Damn. Instagram so lost for words and
usually what we need to do first. Let's mark our beats so that we know that we're doing it correctly. Yep, and we were 1 frame off, so good to know.
lost cause of Uncle Sam. Damn. Sleeping. I made it. Take over.
I'm lost. I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? Feeling I'm blown and live my life. Feeling disturbed. I am lost.
Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me, been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters, cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram, so lost for words I need a telegram, lost cause of Uncle Sam. Damn.
Alright, so now I'm kind of at the point now where I'm really ready to make some hard defining kind of rules with some of my shots. I think I'm not going to delete them from the timeline because I still want to have access to them, but I think I'm going to make a pretty hard rule that this shot doesn't go past this point in the song. And then I think I'll also do a similar thing with these shots. I don't think that they're gonna go past this point. Make sure I get that mark right, yep. Just because they're sunset shots, and I think ideally I might do the same for these bottom ones. I just need to make sure that I have the B-roll, you know. Shot's good. I don't even know if these shots will make the cut, I'm not even gonna lie. They probably will, but
Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn. He's lost without identity on Instagram. Nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost. Knowing there could be a better me. Been lost.
alright, now that I've made my rough arrangement, let's go ahead and duplicate the timeline so I can come back to this point at any time. Or maybe we'll just crash the program instead. There we go. Okay, so let's look for a B-roll, and then let's like for example, we have some.
Lost in the trauma, lost without. Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost in the trauma, lost in the trauma, lost in the trauma, lost without, lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars. Lost in the trauma, lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, nirvana, lost by religion, lost. Lost without dollars, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies. Been lost mentally, lost. Lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. The recipe for disaster. For disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity. Lost without the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost without identity on Instagram. So melodies, lost without identity on Instagram, so lost for words. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn. Telegram, lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn. Uncle Sam, damn. Damn. Uncle Sam, damn. Damn. Damn.
I'm lost for
Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me, been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram, so lost for words, I need a telegram, lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my words? How can I? For words, how can I face my problems and live my life feeling disturbed?
I made 100K, but I made 100K, but then I went broke. I went broke, borderline homeless. This ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. Sleeping. I made 100K, but then I went broke. Borderline homeless. This ain't no joke. Sleeping in my girl's crib with no hope. Then with no hope. With no hope. Then I lost God. God. Then I lost God. Then I found dope. Then I found dope. Love group is over. I'm never sober. Lost in the wilderness, lost high roller. I can buy a happy when my girl pays over. Lost high roller. I can high roller. can buy a happy when my girl pays over. I can over. I can pays over. He's over. He's over. I can buy happiness. The drugs take over.
I'm lost.
I made 100K. Lost in the trauma, lost without nirvana, lost by religion, lost without dollars, lost without integrity, lost knowing there could be a better me. Been lost mentally, lost without my enemies, lost without the recipe for disasters. Cause trauma brings the melodies, lost without identity on Instagram. So lost for words, I need a telegram. Lost cause of Uncle Sam, damn.
I'm lost. I'm lost.
Here, take the pace down a little bit. There you go. Going. Alright. You are. Alright.
I'm lost for words. How can I face my problems and live my life? Feeling disturbed. I am lost.
eso te iba a decir. De hecho, eso te iba a decir. Ahí hay una foto.
I'm not worth. How can I? Feeling.
You better me. Been lost mentally. Lost.
Uno más. Okay, perfect. Okay. Rewind just a sec.
Lost in the trauma. Lost without nirvana. Lost.
Shit, I missed one.
I made 100K. Made 100. I made 100. I made it. I made. I made 100K, but then I went broke. Borderline homeless, this ain't no joke. Sleeping in my girl's crib with no hope. Then I lost God, then I found dope. Love groove is over, I'm never sober. Lost in the wilderness, lost high roller. I could buy I made 100K, but then I went broke. Made 100K, but then I went broke. I made 100K, but then I went broke. Borderline homeless, this ain't no joke. Sleeping in my girl's crib with no hope. Then I lost God. Broke, borderline homeless, this ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. This ain't no joke. Joke, no joke. This ain't no joke. Sleeping in my girl's crib with no hope. Then I lost God, then I found dope. Love groove is over. Found dope. Love groove is over. Found dope. Love groove is over. I'm hope. Then I lost God. Then no hope. Then I lost God. Then I found dope. Love groove. Lost God. Then I found dope. Love groove is over. I'm never sober. Lost in the wilderness. I'm never sober, lost in the wilderness, lost high roller. I can buy happy when my girl pays over. I can buy happiness, the drugs take over.
I'm lost.